I don't know why I always do that. When I have a soda can, I feel like this is gonna take all the shit off of the top of the can. When I go like this, like like that's gonna get rid of everything on the top of.
I feel like I was told to clean off the top of the cans when I was a kid.
Same. I've been told that too, but why do I think that does?
I mean, it makes a little bit of sense because like there might be dust or something, you know?
But I'm thinking about it now. So you get a can that's dry, but when you blow on it, you're putting like moisture on it, which could like revitalize all of the shit that's on the top of the can.
That is definitely made up. That is as made up as it gets. Like I actually like I get if that can was sitting in a factory for like 6 months before it was shipped out to the grocery store and then you picked it up, like it
Yeah.
could collect some dust on the top of it. And so
Yeah.
for you to blow on it makes sense, but as if like the blowing on it is enough, like no, if you really want to clean it, it's almost like you got to take a tissue and wet the tissue and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's just so weird how I've got like that it's just creature of habit to be like it's just instantaneous that I do that shit. It's like the old video games. Like you could blow like there's different levels to blowing on it. If you just like your game's still not gonna work when you put it in. But if you hit it with like the and then like hit it under
It
your shirt a
works.
little bit,
It
hundred
works.
percent it works. Yeah.
Yeah, the two things you could always do back in the day for the video games is you blow on the video game, you blow on the cartridge,
Yep.
or the thing that works for everything, even to this day, is restarting something. Like restarting something just like magically solves like 80%
Everything.
of problems.
Yep. Yeah. You could be in like a top Microsoft Apple meeting and it could just come down to like this shit's not working. They're just like, just turn it off and turn it on. It works. It's like magic. Just unplug
It really
anything,
is.
plug it back in, and the shit will reset.
It's kind of crazy too because when you think about human beings, we need sleep in order to function well. And
Mhm.
then when you think of like electronics, you need to turn it off and turn it back on for it to function well. It's almost like that's the equivalent of it sleeping. Like that's the technology sleeping. You know what I
Kind of
mean?
deep. That's kind of deep.
Isn't that sort of deep?
Yeah.
Like it's
Molly's
like
got me bugged out. I put my phone right next to me when I sleep,
Mhm.
and she's convinced me that like there's like rays in your phone and this and that to like put it on the other side of the room or turn it off completely. But
It
I
sounds
don't.
like she's doing like we do. She's doing bro science. That's just like some shit that sounds plausible, but it's like we have no idea if it's true.
I feel like she's read it somewhere or heard it somewhere. Like she doesn't come with the facts that aren't like just some hypothetical shit. Like that's something I would say. I'd be like, turn your phone off
Yeah,
because
that's what
there's
I'm saying.
definitely
That's what I
some.
would say too. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think she saw an article or so, like heard something about it. But I don't know. Like I do so much other shit that like not having my cell phone next to me when I sleep is like the last of my concerns. Like I need to chop off not having 10 White Castle burgers and having like 3 bags of fries with it and 2 Diet Cokes before you even get me in the conversation of like you should turn your phone. Like like there's so much other shit. Like don't hit me with like a you should turn your phone off because of the rays while you're sleeping. You got to hit me with X, Y, and Z of other shit that I do.
Well, there's also like certain things just feel impossible in modern society to break away from. You know, like it's possible that the Wi-Fi signal, there's going to be a study that comes out in 20 years that's like the Wi-Fi signal is fucking everybody up and
Yep.
giving them cancer. And like it's just the ship has already sailed. What do you want to do? Not have Wi-Fi? Like what are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's like saying, "Damn, if electricity caused cancer, would everybody just be like, I'm done with electricity. I'm going to shut my whole shit off." Nobody would do that. Maybe you'd keep more lights off as much as possible, but nobody's going to shut off their whole shit. You know what I mean? It's just certain things are so ingrained into the way we have, modern society. It's like if you found out that taking a hot shower, there's something about the way they heat the water that's getting you sick. Like, and you'll lose like 2 years off your life by having hot showers. You'd be like, it's sort of worth it. It's sort of worth it to have those hot showers and I'll die 2 years earlier because it's worth it.
That's such a good point. Like if you can I mean like if someone could say they never invented the microwave because like it causes all this shit when you stand in front of it, and it's like to your point, would you not want the microwave created? Or like would you not want lights if it did cause some like cancerous shit and we had to go back to just using candles? Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
The microwave shit's an interesting one because I'm like a living study of how dangerous it is. Because if you could get some shit from it, I'd have been had it. Because I have so many meals that are microwave that I'm breaking the world record on microwaves. Son, did you see Tiger had another back surgery?
What do you mean? Like
Tiger Woods.
since last night?
Tiger Woods had another back surgery. His fifth one, bro. The news broke earlier when I was in the middle of my live stream.
Oh, I was gonna say because we were just talking about Tiger last night because I just finished part 2 of the
That
documentary
documentary's
shit.
dope, right? Dope,
Ridiculously dope, and like
yeah, everybody's got to check that documentary out.
it's almost like like he timed that.
Well,
Like,
it's interesting because maybe a little bit they did time it because apparently he was already back hitting golf balls. So everybody was like, when the fuck did he get this surgery then? So the speculation is that after that tournament that he had with his son, where he played with his son in the father-son event, that maybe like a week after that or some shit, he had it because if he's already hitting golf balls again, it wasn't like he had it this week, you know?
You know what's wild is like his back is fucked up. If like
OD fucked up.
OD fucked up if he can't even get like because he can get the top doctors, he can get the top treatment, he can get the top like everything. Sort of like when Trump got COVID, it was like he wasn't gonna die from the shit because he's got the top everything. Tiger's back is almost so much fucked up that like he can't even fix that shit. Like he's
All
got
the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't
How do
put
you-
Tiger back together again. But they sort of did. The reason why it's frustrating is because they sort of did already. Like he had 3 microdiscectomy surgeries. Those shits didn't work. He got relief for like 3 months or whatever, and then it went right back where he had the same problem. And then finally they convinced him like, yo, you have no. He was in excruciating pain every day, and they told him like, you need to have back fusion surgery. It's the only thing that's going to take away the pain is if we fuse together 2 of your discs. And he did it reluctantly. He didn't know how it was going to affect his golf game, but he was in so much pain. He was like, okay, I'll do it. Then the fusion fucking worked where not only was the pain gone, but he went and started playing tournaments again. And then he won 3 times.
Yeah.
He won the comeback, and I think it was 2018 in the Tour Championship. And then he won the Masters in 2019. He won an event called the Zozo. So the shit worked. And the reason why it's like crazy is that everybody thought like, oh, the fusion worked. So he's good now. But no, he needed another microdiscectomy because he said he was having shooting pain down his leg. And so they did that shit. But then, like, I was talking to my friend about this. He might just like have to have surgery every 2 years from now until he fucking dies on his back. Isn't that crazy?
I'm almost convinced after watching part 2 of the doc. Part 1 is more the golf shit. Part 2 is like when they start getting into the heavy like, marital affairs and all that shit. Like maybe his like back surgery doctor is some bad ass chick, and like that's just his way to keep going out there. To do whatever he's got to do with her. I don't know, man. I wouldn't put it past him because of all the stuff you learned about in the second part of the doc. But now, in all seriousness, I hope I never have to get to like a back surgery ever stage of my life. My dad's back hurts and like he's like hunched over and he says he's just in excruciating pain. And it's like you don't think about it when I'm 32. And it's like nothing ever crosses my mind when someone's like, hey, can you pick up this heavy ass shit that you have no shot of picking up? I'm like, yeah, I'll try. And it's like you like blow your back out trying to pick up this thing, or you go to the gym and you try to deadlift. And like I've never had good deadlifting form. Like my back is always rounded and the coaches are always just like, yeah, you like picked it up, but you're going to fuck up your back. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I feel fine. All of that shit is like little chinks in my armor right now. So when I'm whatever age, there's going to be an age that's like, nah, like we're giving out on you and your back just like my back's going to completely go.
I mean, that's aging, man. That's like, aging, it's always something. Like everybody has something, for me, even, and this isn't even aging, this is just because of my genetics, but like my eyes have always been terrible. I needed glasses in like 2nd grade and my eyes have gotten worse all the time since 2nd grade. And it's like, what are you going to do? That's just how it is. Some people get a bad roll of the dice. The back one is interesting because, yeah, it could be something that you did, but it also could be a mix of something that you did and the fact that maybe your back was weak to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a number of different factors, but that's fucking aging. This shit always happens, man. Everything falls apart slowly, you know?
But it's such a hard thing to try and, like, Like
You can't work around that. You
you
can't
can't
work
work
around a
around it,
bad
and
back.
you also
No.
can't like really plan for it because I've tried to ask my dad like, hey, when you were 32, were you picking up heavy shit? And it's like, picture like a 70-something-year-old person trying to think back to 32, and you're asking him if he's ever picked up heavy shit. Like you can't get intel on that. So like,
Yeah, like
how do
you're
you even
saying, what
prevent?
could I do to avoid it? And there's
Yeah.
no good answer. Yeah. No, I know. There's no good answer.
And then you just look like a dick if like my wife's like, hey, can you pick up this heavy ass box? I'm not gonna be like, no, I don't want to have back pains when I'm 60. Like, how big of a cop out is that shit if I'm just like, that's my excuse? Like,
I mean, back shit really is the worst. Like it's the one where he's played through. He won the U.S. Open on a broken leg. His
yeah,
knee
yeah,
was broken. He needed surgery
crazy.
after that shit.
Yeah. The image of him with his club, like walking off like the fairway or whatever.
Wincing in pain, yeah. But he said he was able to play through that pain. The pain that he couldn't play through was the back pain, where he
It's just
collapsed.
it's fascinating because I mean, you see all the public stories of like, Michael Jackson or like, some of the like other high profile like young kids who get thrown into the limelight because their parents are just crazy. But you never like really thought of that with Tiger Woods. You always just like you never really knew his story. And this documentary is just crazy how
I knew the whole shit, and
yeah,
now
you
now
knew it.
everybody else is learning the whole shit. And I
But
can
like
say they did a good job as a fucking tiger expert. I'm a tiger historian. They did a good job on almost every aspect. There's only like a few tiny parts I would change in it.
it's just wild because you as a fan or as a critic or as someone just watching that, and for me being a father, it's like you've got so much power as a father to sort of craft your child into what you want them to be. So like while there's that nature versus nurture thing, Tiger could have really just been this outgoing kid and would have went whatever way he would have went if his parents just let him. But they like basically controlled his life to like not date this one girl and
That
golf,
part that
golf, golf.
that was the part that broke my heart is because I that's actually a part of the story I didn't even know. That he had this girlfriend. I
Mhm.
guess it started when he was in like high school, and her name was Dina. He seemed like he really loved her, and she really loved him.
Dina
And
had
they
mad fucking lip injection shit.
no, that's Rachel you're thinking of.
No, Dina too. You could
Oh,
see this
Dina
shit.
too. Oh, okay, all right. Rachel was one he had an affair with later on, guys.
Mhm.
Anyway, so so it seemed like they really loved each other. Like those, you saw those home videos when he was like dancing around with them and
Yeah, it's so
shit.
cool
Like
to see that.
he seemed like he was like part of the family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what happened was Tiger went away to college, and then one time he told his parents, "Oh, I'm gonna come home tomorrow for the holidays." But he spent the night at Dina's. He was lying like he was still at college, and he went and spent the night at his girlfriend's. And then his parents found out, and they basically forced him to break up with her. And the sense of you get like she of all the people who were in the documentary, she seemed like the most normal and most down to earth person. And like when she was telling the story, you got the sense she was saying like, yeah, I was the one for him, he was the one for me. We would have ended up getting married, and the fucking parents like ended the shit. And I
Yeah,
remember watching that part, and me like, fuck, I didn't know that. They really did just like cut off a girl that he loved and
made
forced
him write a
him.
letter to her saying, "I can't see you anymore." Like you,
That's how they made him break up with her. Is you got to write a letter to her saying, "Oh, I feel like you took advantage of me," or whatever the fuck. And then yeah, like then forced him right back into golf. And then what's interesting is you sort of see that theme play out through his entire life too, where how his parents sort of just made him shut out anybody who like even a little bit was sort of getting in the way of him being that golfing machine.
yeah,
He ended up doing that shit with so many people. Like one of his caddies who he was with for over a decade,
hmm
when it came time when he wanted to move on, he just totally, completely and utterly cut him out. There are no more fucking like Christmas calls to each other. Hey, how the kids doing? None of that shit.
yeah,
It's a really, everybody needs to watch that documentary. It's a really interesting documentary, and you really get a sense of not just the fact that he's really the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time when it comes to golf, but you get a sense of, yes, like Corin was saying, everything in the personal life that's like just amazing, that's stunning. Like the ride that this guy went on, and you're right, he had, as much as his dad helped him and gave him guidance and helped him become the GOAT at golf, yeah, and the rest of his life sort of stunted him a little bit and controlled him way too much. And like took away any ability he had to be a normal person. And that's the other thing, Corin, is he yearns to be a normal person more than anything.
Yeah, well, that's not happening.
The name of his boat, he has a boat. It's called Privacy. And you were telling me about the scene where he was scuba diving, and he said to somebody like, I like going down there because nobody knows who I am down there.
Yeah, the fish
don't know who I am down there. And like you get the sense that in some ways, yes, this dude feels the exact same way that a child star felt when the child star was forced to be famous. Like he really loves golf, but he hates everything else that goes along with golf. He hates the fact that he's recognizable anywhere on Earth.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's obviously extreme, but it just makes you think like how much influence does a parent have over what their kid ultimately does or becomes, or, you know, how much do they shape or mold a decision that, you know, like you yourself make, you know, whether it's dating someone. And it's just a weird, it's just a weird like dynamic of life and shit like that, that we go through that because we look to our parents for guidance and, you know, helping us craft what we're going to become. But then ultimately, you know, we have to make decisions for ourselves and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I think his father seemed like a good dude, but at the end of the day, like, did he, you know, fuck him up more than he helped him?
And also, I'm sure you saw the part where they talked about how the dad, not only was he like alcoholic big time, but he was fucking every woman in sight. Yeah. And come to find out, when Tiger got older, that's exactly what he started doing. Like he started leaning on that, you know, as almost like a relief and a getaway from golf, you know, and from the spotlight. He didn't like the spotlight. And you saw he started hanging out with Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley in Vegas. And I remember one of the stories that they told in there is one that I had heard before, that he was like, you know, he's like dorky. He's like this nerdy kid when he started hanging out with them. And he's like, what am I supposed to say to these women? Like, how do you keep these conversations going? And they say, you tell them you're Tiger Woods. Like, that's it, dog. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. It's crazy also to see. I remember growing up seeing like the National Enquirer and all those like Star magazines and all that stuff on the grocery store counters. And I would be like, that shit is mad fake. Like who, like it's obviously entertaining, but this is just a magazine that like puts out some outlandish, crazy headline, some like fucking conspiracy that's so ridiculous that it obviously gets you to grab it and read it, but it's not true. But like low key, they're doing such grimy work that their shit is mad accurate. And like, I don't even know if those magazines are still around, but I remember like Monica Lewinsky being on the cover of those shits back in the day, like probably before shit was popping off. Like,
nah, it's like
picked up Tiger Woods' girl's tampon to.
I'm gonna give it 60-40. It's not 100%. They're like 60% of the time they nail it. 40% of the time it's just total bullshit.
You still think they got some bullshit in there? I mean, like, there's got to be
absolutely.
Like,
they got shit about aliens. Somewhere. They got shit about aliens. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, it's like.
Yeah, but they do that. Like that's what I'm saying is they don't have the highest editorial standards. But yeah, in the case of Tiger, they nailed it 100%. 100%.
Yeah. And they did some shady shit to get what they have to do. But anyone who still is like posting about aliens or retweeting articles about aliens and this and that are like, you're dumb as shit. I'm sorry. Like, I don't believe in aliens. Because like, if aliens were here, one of us would have seen those shits already, and it would have just been an article that like you're posting about. So like,
now you're gonna get bombarded. You're gonna get bombarded with like the videos of UFOs and shit now.
I'm so done with like UFOs and aliens and like extraterrestrial life and all this shit. Like, we would have seen, like, something would have happened by now. Like, aliens, this is the perfect time to come. Like, no, it's a wrap. Area 51, it's all like so you could just go and spend money. And like,
now, you know what your best argument is? Your best argument is Trump would have been tweeted about it. Like day 2 of his presidency at 4 a.m. shitting on the toilet. He would have been like, amazing information on aliens. I just got told by the Pentagon. Really incredible stuff.
Like, yeah, either that or we're all aliens just trying to find aliens on some weird shit. But like, there's no aliens, so stop trying to find them. Like, there's no aliens. I'm done with aliens. Whatever.
This is the first time that I feel like you've done a rant where like your shit is the more science position. You know what I mean? Like usually you're taking the opposite shit.
It's just like no one's ever seen an alien, so like stop trying to convince me there's aliens.
Joe Rogan loves this, is obsessed with this question a little bit, and he's had on all the people who like claim to have seen shit. It's kind of funny.
But they're all lunatics and they all say some dumb shit that they're like, I'm the only person that could see them. I got a call one time. I randomly was driving and I saw this. Like, nah, man. You like alien. I'm done with aliens. Like,
you're angry at aliens.
I'm just putting that to rest. Like anybody in the comment section that wants to try and convince me on aliens, like save the shit. Like, don't even put your comment because there's no fucking aliens. Now, like, I've seen shooting stars, but all that shit happens because of like gases and whatever the stars are. But like, there's no UFO flying in some different fucking. That being said, I still am convinced that there's some like alternative universe somewhere where people are chilling and talking and walking. Because why are we just here? You know?
I love how you go from 100% against to 100% in favor. There's no like gray area for both of them. You're just like, this shit is real. This shit is not real.
There's definitely no aliens, but there's definitely some world somewhere else that we don't know about with like people and shit. Like there's another.
So you're saying there is alien life, but they've never visited us. That's what you're saying.
No, there's no alien. Like there's no like actual aliens, but there's like.
So you don't think there's life anywhere else in the universe? That's a bold ass claim because the universe is so fucking big that like somewhere in the shit there's got to be an Earth that's somewhat facilitates life and like has some sort of living shit on it. Doesn't even have to be like people. It just could be bacteria, whatever the fuck. You know?
No, that I'll agree with you there. But nothing's ever flown over.
Yeah, you're saying
South
there's
Dakota.
no connection that's been made. Yeah, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So give that one up.
Today is Trump's last day in office.
So that's so wild to like even just say that, man, because I still remember the night we spoke about it. Yeah, when he won.
Oh, okay, that was earlier. Yeah,
it was unclear. And I was like, I've told this before, but I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna wake up. Hillary Clinton's gonna be president. Blah blah blah. And like, that seems like just ages ago, man. And like to me, honestly, the presidency. Obviously, he was the president, but like, I've never really like recognized him as the president. You know, like I didn't really watch too many of like his State of the Union shits and like paid attention.
So you didn't think of him as a president? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. I mean, like he was just a character, and like
you just saw him as Trump.
Yeah. So tomorrow is like it is what it is. He'll finally be out. I mean, it feels like he's been out because he's been off Twitter. And I haven't really paid attention to the news too much of like if he's even saying shit. I think he's given some like press releases and shit.
What did he do this time? I don't know what he did today. I know that tomorrow he's supposed to have like this sign-off event, this going away event now, but the funny thing is Mike Pence and like all the Republicans are going to Biden's inauguration and not to his like sign-off shit.
It's bizarre, man. It's so bizarre. And I really think now that he's out, a lot of shit's going to come down on him. They're going to get him on something where like he doesn't have, I mean, technically he still has that presidency shield because he wasn't, you know, well, he was impeached, but he wasn't thrown out of office. So he still gets everything that goes.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't get any. As soon as he's out of the White House, he can be criminally charged again. Previously, when he's in office, he can't. He can only be impeached. When he's out of office, he's back to like he could be brought up on charges. And so in New York, there's a bunch of investigations into him.
In Atlanta or Georgia, they brought about a lot of stuff with him for when he tried to like make that phone call.
No, see, okay, so we're mixing two things up here. Anything that he did like while in office, that is irrelevant. Like the phone call and shit. I'm talking about crimes he did outside of when he was in the White House. So all of his businesses, tax fraud, shit like that. Like that is all being investigated in New York, and that shit he can go down on. Shit that was in the White House, no, he's not going to go down on shit like that. Like, they might impeach him officially, but there's no. The only thing is what he might not be able to run in 4 years. Okay, but he also, they could do that by passing a law anyway. They probably should do that, but apparently he's thinking about starting a new political party, dog.
I mean,
he's thinking about starting the Patriot Party. I gotta say this. I'm talking about this on my show tomorrow, but
it's almost like you see who rocks with him, and it's just all like cockroach type people. It's all just low lives, all like just like the and I could say this, man, because this is all the people that support Donald Trump. Is just like scums of the earth type people.
See, I would disagree with that a little bit, because when he won, in order to win the White House,
initially there were some normal ass people in there, but
okay,
now
you're saying left. You're saying the ones that are left.
Yes, the people that are rocking with him now, currently, like
they're the too far gones. That's your argument.
Like the fucking painted face.
Yeah.
Helmet dude.
Well, I told you, even my aunt, who's like was hardcore pro Trump, when she gave Trump like a week after he lost to like, okay, bitch, resign, you lost, and he didn't do it, and even she was like, you're ridiculous. And this is somebody who was with him the whole fucking time. And so yeah, you're right. Like, and she's out of it. She's kind of out there. But you're right. Like, the people who are really left are the hardcore ones. And I covered this on my show. His new approval rating is the lowest it's ever been, 29%. So there you go. That's the number of people that are too far gones, 29%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there were like, if you asked me prior to the Capitol riots and all this stuff, like there was a lot of like secret people that like Trump, that were like normal.
He had a 42% approval rating. Yeah.
Yeah. Like normal, just going about their business, working, probably had a family, and just like supported like the way he like was confident and like, said he shook up the system. But then after that shit, like that really just shook off every normal human being. Because I don't know, if you still support that guy after all that shit, then there's something wrong with you, and all those people that support him, there's fucking something wrong with those people.
It feels like 4 fucking years of all his shit. It is kind of crazy to have somebody be like, yeah, I still support him. Like, what does that even mean? Like all the shit he did, and you're still like, yeah, I support him.
Yo, what? I don't know how this motherfucker just got away. Like, he did everything under the sun and got away with everything.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. You're right. He did. Yeah. So on the one hand, yes, that's true. That's right. But then on the other hand, he lost the popular vote twice and he got impeached through the House twice. So it's like, that's like historically cuck shit. Like, no president has ever had those things happen to them. And he's only in there for 4 years and he got impeached twice. So the record books will sort of show that he's a big failure, especially because of COVID. Like, I feel like if COVID didn't happen and the economy was still on paper good, it's not good at all, but on paper it's good, then he would have been remembered differently. But the fact that he fucked up on COVID too is like, that's everything. Impeached twice, lost the popular vote twice, did terrible on COVID. Like, there's nothing there. There's no legacy there at all. And then the few good things he could have done, like pardon Julian Assange on the way out, it looks like he's not going to do that. So
what's the pardon deal? Like, he just has one night to fucking just get rid of. He just has like sign off on all of these pardons.
Well, the president can basically pardon whoever, but yeah, the point is he only has one night left in office. So he's like, this, if he's ever going to do it, he's got to do shit now. You know what I'm saying?
So is he pardoning Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne was on the list of people he's supposed to pardon.
I would love to just be a fly on the wall for like his hour or 2 hour pardon. Like, do they just put a picture in front of him of like Joe Exotic and he's like, no. It's like Lil Wayne and it's like, yeah. He's just like deciding who gets pardoned and who like, I still don't even think he probably knows how any like processes work within like government, like.
No, he's got no idea. He definitely just says some shit and just barks it. I mean, he did this with war too. There was a few times he tweeted, "We're gonna get out of Afghanistan," and then his generals behind the scene would be like, "Sir, no, we're not," and he was like, "You're right, no, we're not."
It's sad, but it's also sad because Well, as happy we are that he's out of there, and like I'll still stay optimistic for Biden and stuff like that, but like he's he'll be better because like he at least he says positive things and like acts like a normal person, but he's not great either. You know, like
I
he's
mean,
still
it's
like a
just the show. Like,
shell of
yeah,
himself.
the show is gonna go away.
Yeah.
The everyday high energy, just like yeah, shit. You got to worry about all the time, like checking Twitter, like what the fuck happened now? Oh my god, relax, everybody. Biden will take away that, but yeah, he's gonna do a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, I think the first week or so, he's gonna do shit that's good
Hmm.
because he could just do all the executive orders he wants to do in the first week. But after that it's gonna be a bit of a mess, I think, because he's gonna try to work with Republicans on a lot of shit, and the way the Republicans work is, oh, you want to work with us? That's cool. Do everything we want. Like that's always what happens. That's what Bill Clinton did. That's what Obama did. Like there's a lot of just do what we want, and then they're like, okay, we'll do what you want.
I
So
feel like Twitter sort of did Donald Trump a favor by like taking him off of the platform because it's like okay, like people have sort of like it's sort of like we're starting to forget about him. Who he's probably just in Mar-a-Lago chilling right now.
I actually don't know where he is, but
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like no one knows what he's doing. It sort of like gave him a pass to just sort of ride off in the sunset without, you
he
know,
doesn't have that in him core. I wish he did. I wish he had that thing where he would just be like, okay, I guess I'm done. He's not going to do that. He's going to do the exact opposite. Like I said, there's a report that he's considering starting a new political party, the Patriot Party. And if he were to start the Patriot Party and run and actually get on some ballots, he would basically destroy the Republican Party because he would take 20% from them guaranteed. And then the Republicans couldn't cobble together a coalition that could beat the Democrats.
but what
And it's
candidates would he run? He would just run the like most nut jobs of nut job candidates.
I mean, I don't know who he would run. It'd be as close to Trump as possible,
Yeah, I
basically.
know.
I think
Yeah.
but it would be more about him. He basically what this would be is him saying, "I'm going to run again, and I'm going to run as a third party candidate." That's what that would be.
You see, like you match up Tiger Woods' dad fucking molding Tiger Woods to become the greatest golfer of all time. And then you see Donald Trump, who doesn't give a fuck about his sons at all, but they try to be him so badly, and they just turn out to be like the absolute worst human being of all time. So it's almost like I would prefer someone like Eldrick Woods, like crafting their son to be this robotic thing and become the best there ever was, than a parent neglecting their child and them just trying so hard for attention and like try to identically do everything the same as Donald Trump and just become this fucking dog shit of a human being.
It is kind of funny, right? That like, yeah, his sons, he didn't give a fuck about them at all,
Hell
and
no.
they both try so hard to be like him. It's really weird. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird, man. Did you see the video of them? I think it was New Year's, like dancing to Vanilla Ice at Mar-a-Lago. Someone like recorded
No,
it
I
and
didn't
like
see that. That
Donald Trump
sounds
Jr. was like singing and Vanilla Ice was on stage and it just looks so pathetic and fucking sad.
Bro, they definitely do a lot of coke.
I'm sure, but
Don
I'm
Jr.
sure
does a lot of fucking coke. He looks coked up 24/7.
100%. But like, it's just sad the lives they live because it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like you
man.
can't tell your dad's a fucking idiot. Like you can't see that. That's not clear to you.
But you can't just step out of your own body for a second and just realize like how much of like a douchebag you look like. Like when I do something stupid, or like when I do something stupid, I'm like, yeah, I know that was stupid. Or like if I dress a certain way and like put something on, I'm like, that doesn't look right. But like if your whole like everything you do is like a douchebag, you have to realize that you're just a douchebag.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy that they don't like realize. I try to get as far away from that family as possible if I was born into that family. Because you take one objective look at your dad and you're like, "Oh my god, this guy's a fucking idiot." And also he's a massive fuck up who got lucky to get $400 million from his dad and he basically like tripped on his dick all the way to the White House. And like they emulate him. How do you emulate that guy? I mean, it's really crazy. They emulate that guy?
I
Like
don't
I
know,
feel
but
like I'm
if
super critical of my dad in many ways. And like but my dad was smarter than fucking Trump. You know what I mean? Like there's just zero self-reflection from that entire fucking family. Did you see the other daughter, like the forgotten daughter,
I
Tiffany
don't even
Trump.
know how many fucking yeah.
Tiffany Trump is the forgotten daughter who's like never with the other ones because I think
Mhm,
he's from one of the previous. She's from one of the previous marriages, but
mhm.
apparently she's getting married and like she announced it today on her dad's last day in office, and I saw a bunch of articles on it, and I was thinking like Trump doesn't care at all
No.
about his daughter or this marriage. He barely knows who she is. He's like Tiffany who? I don't even remember her.
So are they gonna let him back on Twitter? You think after this whole shit?
That's a good question. My guess is so he's banned on like every social media
Every
company.
shit, right?
My guess is some social media companies are gonna ban him permanently, and then some are gonna bring him back. And then maybe even some will bring him back like with restrictions or some shit, you know?
But they're all
Like
such followers. Like if one brings them back, they're all gonna, eventually. Like if Twitter ever starts dropping in stocks or becomes unpopular, they'll just let Trump back on their shit because it'll make it more popular again, and they'll be back in the news. Like there's always that out card of letting him back on
I mean,
if they're
listen,
not doing well.
I know my position is an unpopular one, but I don't even think they should have banned him. I don't agree with it. I don't think like the shit he was saying was ambiguous. He was talking out of both sides of his mouth. He was like, be good to our officers, everybody be peaceful, and also this election is totally fraudulent. We should do something to stop it. So he was giving himself enough cover where it's like, is he saying to do some shit or is he not? And you can't just like ban him for that, I don't think. I mean, I get why they did it, but at the same time, once you open that door, now there's going to be no closing that door. Everybody's going to get fucking banned for everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, now there's no stopping to the banning. They open the door, and now it's just like ban-a-palooza for everybody on every outlet, you know? And if you
it's gonna
think
be
it's
weird
not
for
going to affect
every.
me, it is going to affect you.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's gonna be weird for every like news outlet now who's so used to covering like such a drastic end of the spectrum of like craziness.
So, like, Biden's half dead,
So
not doing
Biden's
shit,
half dead, but like still
napping.
being amped up and like responding how they respond to however Trump would do some shit and trying to like tone it back to like you doing a news story now is probably just going to be on some regular ass shit and not
Well,
like
no,
Trump
for
putting
me,
his
it's
head in a
different.
donkey's ass.
For me, it's different because I always covered policy shit, so it's like that doesn't change. For them, they're fucked because yes, they rely on the craziness, Trump, like they rely on whatever the fuck he's doing to like have their hair on fire. So
Mhm.
yes, I'm sure they're panicking behind the scenes because they're like, what the fuck are we going to talk about all day? Me, I don't have to worry about shit because my show was never about the spectacle of it. My show was about me giving my opinion on whatever the fuck is going on in terms of policy and whatnot. You know?
Yeah. What happened? What happened to your straightaway setup? Because it's the side shit now, right? Did you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
switch
yeah.
that?
Yeah, so here's what happened. My laptop, my Mac laptop that I use for my graphics, it stopped working for a little bit, and so
That
I
shit
needed to.
stopped working back in 1992 when I tried to bring it to that repair
Yeah,
shop
yeah,
in
yeah. But
California.
yeah, but no,
Is it the
that
same
happened
Mac?
again. Like the same laptop, it happened again, and I had to send it in, right? And so, um,
For
anyway,
everybody that doesn't know, his shit died when we went out to. It was like Rogan's
it
first
was
shit,
in
right?
LA. Yeah, it was like the first or second time.
And
Yeah.
like you were, I think at like the TYT studio or something out, and like we looked up repair shop,
Yeah, you
and I
drove
brought
all
the
the way
shit,
to
and the guy was
Bumblefuck.
just like, "Yo, your shit it's a wrap."
Yeah,
Like,
that time it was I think a graphics card that was fucked up, and so
yeah,
we needed hardware. So anyway, I thought the same shit happened this time, and I had to go get it fixed. So I couldn't do the graphics over my shoulder, and so I had to set up the studio in a way where I don't have to worry about the graphics. But low key, I like it more this way. I think it looks better this way than how it looked before.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's chilling.
I like the way it looks now. I like the microphone arm better than the stand. I got an
Yeah,
arm that I'm using. I like that a lot better. But anyway, yeah, that was what that was for.
mhm.
What
Yeah. No, I saw that. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I fucking had to set this up. I haven't had to set up my setup in so long. I put the light on. I put my computer and the microphone, and just doing that, I was like, "Fuck!" I hate having to set things up and like I had to like the desk is mad close to the wall and I have to like squeeze behind. And that's how our dining room table is like that. It's close to like the screen door.
Mhm.
And I tell Molly all the time, like, because when I go to eat, I have to like squeeze in and eat. And I'm like, why don't we just fucking pull the table out so I don't have to do that shit and we never end up doing it. So I always have to squeeze behind the table, and it's just the worst fucking thing in the world.
So this room that you're in now, it's used for other stuff too, right? It's not just used for.
Yeah, my bedroom to sleep.
I know that you had switched it a number of times. Like you've had different rooms where you've been in it doing it.
Yeah, I had to set up in my basement, which was gangster, but my mother-in-law lives down there, and I couldn't record when she would like go to bed and stuff like that. Then we brought it up to my bedroom. But I mean, it's chilling. I just hate having to do anything. So setting up is just. I told you when I was so my setup for work, I have a TV on the right, and the remote is there, and probably for like it was probably a week. It hit me with the low battery on the TV. It was like check your batteries on your remote, which was like, all right, thank you, I appreciate you letting me know, but I probably still got at least like 2 weeks.
It's like when you get hit with the car when you're on E, you're like, I got at least 20 miles in this bitch.
That's another fucking thing because sometimes it'll say like it'll hit you with the low fuel and you're like, all right, I appreciate that. And then it'll start telling you the numbers. So it'll go from like 50, but then at like 35 on my car now, I've got a Mazda, like it's like the trucky one.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go to 35, but then like once you get to 30, it'll just say like low fuel and it won't give you the number anymore. And I'm like, you can't do that shit. Like you can't hit me with 50 or 35 and expect me to like drive a little bit more and not know where I'm at, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. It's like when you get an iPhone and the default battery setting doesn't give you the number on the shit. It's
They
like,
change that. Doesn't give
why
you the
would you
number.
not give me the number? Of course I want the number. How's this a question? Obviously I want the fucking number.
It goes from red at 20 to like it's like you could still see the red, but then once you get to like 10, it's like a little less. But then you start just like guessing, and then it's when you plug it in, it's like 2%. You're like, oh fuck, my shit was really about to die.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. I'm like, let me push how far I can go with obviously I know 20%, you got a little bit of wiggle room, but then it hits you with the 10%. Sometimes I'll put it in the low battery mode, and that like I feel like buys me a little bit more time. Then it'll be like a half an hour to an hour. I'm like, I'm really pushing this shit, and then I'll plug it into the charger. It'd be like 1%, but fuck you because like we were about to close up shop on you.
But honestly, listen, this is like again with the bro science here, but like you can't make a phone where the battery lasts like a month.
I know. That's such a good point.
You know, like my shit lasts a day. That's it. Like a day.
That's so true. You spend fucking so much money on a phone that has all these capabilities to do all this app shit, but meanwhile your battery like barely can make it to 4 o'clock without.
That's what I'm saying. Like
shit.
At least give me some shit that lasts a week. Like at least give me a week out of it. Don't hit me with like we spent all this money on this fucking phone, and I gotta charge it every day.
And everybody who's got a Droid or some other shit that's not Apple, save your comments also. Like the comment section should be fucking empty this week because I don't want to hear anybody saying shit because you're all fucking wrong. Like if someone tries to hit you with that argument with a Droid with the Android shit and they're like, well, my battery will stay for 8 months if I let it. Like, fuck out of here. Because when I'm texting you,
I don't want to see your green shit. Fuck out of here with your green
shit. Or I don't want to have to send you a photo that's perfectly clear on my phone. It takes up the whole shit. And then I send it to you and that shit gets like repixelized into some like shit that looks like a fucking quarter and you can't even tell what the photo is. And then everybody for the next, like if you have a group chat with 2 iPhones and one non-iPhone shit and you try to send a picture, that shit's getting fucked up.
That shit is getting fucked up. Yeah, like for me, I'm even bigger Team Mac when it comes to my laptops. Like I have a PC that I do a bunch of work on, but Mac is just easier. Like everything is more user friendly. You know what I'm saying? Like
what the money thing is for Mac is the AirDrop. Like sending a
AirDrop
video
is dope. You've done that for me. Remember whenever we go on either a Politicon trip or Rogan or whatever, you'll record mad shit and then you'll just AirDrop it to me at the end of the night.
Imagine on a regular Dell shit trying to email like a video that's like 7 minutes long or something that's like even 2 minutes long. It's like not some long shit. That would it's not possible. I try to do it now to my regular computer and it's like try sending this as an attachment, or do you want to send it? I'm like, no, I just want to get it to my computer.
I feel like for people who are like real tech nerds, yeah, they could do PC and they could do whatever fucking droid they want. But for people like me and you who are like sort of idiots, Mac makes shit easy. Like
But I still, because Molly's dad has he's got the Android, my mom has an Android, and like everybody swears by the camera and like it having better pixelation and shit like that. Every picture my mom takes, and I've taken pictures on her phone, those shits are blurry as fuck, and like they're mad like long. It's like it's mad like long frame. It's just not a good picture. So I don't know if she's in the wrong setting or doing something incorrectly, but like, yeah, there's just like Apple should reach out to us and just take that whole snippet and just use it as their next commercial.
I know, right? Let me ask you this question though, because this is how old school I am. I sort of miss having an actual keyboard on my shit. That feeling of an actual keyboard, because even with autocorrect on when you're typing shit on an iPhone, it's so easy to just misspell shit. When you have an actual keyboard, you get feedback when you press the button, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you're saying a keyback, like a key.
Yeah,
thing
keypad on the phone. Yeah. Like back in the day when there was the BlackBerry,
Yeah, I even have to like jog my memory back to what that shit felt like, because I think
I
you
know
had
it's
to
been
like
so long.
you had to like push the key 3 times to get to like the J or something like that, right?
Well, some of them were like that, but then there were others where it wasn't that complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do. I miss that. I miss that actual keypad on the shit. And now, none of them really make it like that. I mean, there are some, but you're sacrificing so much in other ways that it's not even worth it to get it because you lose so many things that you do. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time I had a keypad on my shit. I feel like the first iPhone I ever got was the 4. Remember the 4? It was very like small, the 4. And it was also kind of heavy. I think it was made of like, there was like stainless steel on it or something.
Maybe. I think I had an iPod that like had that silver back to it.
Yeah. It felt good. Like the weight was like a little heavier.
Yeah.
I fucked with the feel of it. It was small. It was small, smaller than the one I have now.
Yeah, I just even I'll never understand the typing of the keypad where you like swipe to, you ever see that? You like swipe over your letters.
Yeah.
Like,
What the fuck is that about?
that's another one that I'm like, I can never.
I've never done that shit, but I know what you're talking about.
And then like they just like swipe 4 times and their whole shit comes up.
I didn't get it either. Yeah, I don't understand how they did that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I got on that shit, but like, yeah, fuck anyone who's got a droid.
Yeah, how the fuck did we get to this conversation about? I don't even know how we got to this about the phones and about. Oh, you were talking about my studio setup and how I changed it, and I was telling you the reason I did is because I couldn't do graphics for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
So, what I was tweeting earlier, I tweeted earlier that I had 3 donuts.
Mm-hmm.
That is now a lie because I've since had 2 more, so I've had a total of 5 donuts today.
Did you buy like a 12 thing of donuts?
Yeah, they were on sale at the store, and I was like, I'm gonna just buy the whole shit.
You're notorious for like just picking up a random box of like $4.99, and it's just like 18 croissants or some shit, and you're like, grocery store just had it on sale for like chocolate eclairs for $7, and I just bought 12 of
I'm
them.
like, I don't even like eclairs, but I bought them.
Damn, respect on doing that shit, man, because I don't even think I would buy that many donuts.
I mean, I just walked by it and I was like, this is correct.
Were you shopping hungry?
A little bit. I mean, I was like 70% there,
Yeah, that could get you. Yeah, I go
it
by
could get me, but it was like I walked by it and I was like, I'm getting that shit.
So it was a mixed pack of donuts?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's all different ones. But anyway, so I did a poll on Twitter.
That's bold
Now,
too.
people are going to get pissed because I wasn't able to list all the different kinds of donuts. I had to narrow it down to 4 in order to do the poll.
That's what you're good too for. Like you'll buy like a pack of 18 donuts and not care that some of them are like chocolate chip dick flavored or something like that. Like you'll be like, oh, whatever, it's the last donut. I'll eat that shit. It's a donut.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot for sure.
Yeah, no, I respect that about you because I would be like, I gotta just buy 12 a pack of this flavor or that.
Yeah, one flavor. Yeah, I feel you
So
on that.
respect on that shit, man, because you're more about like giving donuts and shit a chance.
Bro, I'm like that. I don't think I've ever bought the same pasta sauce twice. Like I always try a different pasta sauce. Always.
That's
Because
what's up too.
there's so many that like I'm like, there's no way I could even eat all these even if I tried every day the rest of my life. Like so I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just keep trying all different ones.
There
And then
are a lot of pasta. So I've been
it's
fucking with
crazy. Even in the same brand, there's like 8 different kinds. You know what I mean? You've been having the Rayo sauce. That's what
Rayo's.
yeah.
That shit is bomb. But
My mom likes
I
that shit.
bought salsa. I was trying to buy salsa,
Mm-hmm.
bro. It was like mild light, mild heavy, mild chunky, mild
I didn't
in
even know there were
between.
that many
It's
mild
like
fucking
medium
sauces.
light, medium 20%. There was so much shit.
Which brand was this shit? Like
It was like
Tostitos or
Ortega or some shit.
Ortega?
There was so many salsas. I was like, I sort of had a headache just looking at colors and
I'm about to say some shit that you're not gonna agree with, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The best salsa, super banging,
Mhm.
pineapple salsa.
you know what's funny is I saw that and I
You
was gonna
did?
give it a chance.
You should have, man. It
I
is
should have.
so fucking good,
Yeah,
dog.
anything pineapple flavored is banging.
There's every now and then they hit you, and I don't even see this at the grocery store I go to a lot, which is kind of driving me crazy because I even looked for it a few times.
Mhm.
Either pineapple salsa, sometimes they have peach salsa, just some sprinkle some little shit in it that just takes it to another level.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I didn't pull the trigger on it, but I did look at it for a hot minute because that was one of the salsas was pineapples, and I was intrigued. I was like, that shit is probably banging. But I knew my quesadillas I was making that night were gonna be
Y-
fucking banging.
Yes, that no, you made the right call then
Yeah.
because I thought you were just thinking with some chips, like chips and
No, no,
salsa.
no, no.
Yeah,
I knew
yes, you made the
Molly
right
like
call.
put thought behind making her quesadillas, so I was
Right,
like,
right, right.
and I didn't
Can't
really
do
want
it.
to splurge on buying two salsas because that's just OD to have in your
Yeah,
fridge.
that's obnoxious.
So I didn't want to fuck
You
up.
made the right move, but
Yeah.
you're also right to be curious, and if you should probably get it the next time. I'm telling
That's what
you.
I'm
And
saying.
I'm
Like if I
actually,
was at your
I
house
thought you
and
were
you were
gonna
like,
shut my shit down too. I thought you were gonna be like, that
no,
shit sounds disgusting.
not pineapple. Pineapple, you could have pineapple, whatever the nastiest shit you could think of, and
Pineapple
I would
dog shit.
pineapple dog shit. And low key, if it was like pineapple dog food, but humans can also eat this shit, I would be like,
It's
I
got
might give it a
pineapple.
chance. Yeah, like if that was what it was called, I would give it a chance because pineapple orange juice is banging, but I don't like actual pineapples.
What? That is so wild. I'm floored right now. So you like pineapple on shit, but you don't like pineapple by itself.
No, no, I don't like actual. No, I don't like pineapple like on shit, like pineapple on my pizza or anything. Like pineapple flavor, I like.
Okay, you like the flavor pineapple, but you don't like actual pineapple.
Yeah, if it was life or death, like, and we're at the Chinese restaurant and they come out with like the final boss is like the pineapple on your receipt,
Yup.
and like I'm like I would like to still like finish this meal and put a bow on it. I would probably eat the pineapple, like reluctantly. I don't like that like texture.
You know what? You know what texture freaks me the fuck out that I don't like? Salmon.
Oh,
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 it's the worst texture. It's the worst texture. I don't even know
yeah.
how to describe it. It's like thick and moist.
That's when someone tries to, if someone tries to, like, people swear by sushi. Like, they swear by that shit. Like,
Nah.
they'll fucking cut their leg off to have some sushi. I don't like that. I've never had sushi, so I can't even say it. But, like, that to me is just not a taste or like a combination of anything that goes well together.
I'm like I can barely tolerate fish. Like there's some fish I could take. You know what I'm saying? Like I could handle some shrimp. I could handle some lobster if you drench it in butter. But when you give me sushi, I've had like California rolls. Okay. But I had to drench it in soy sauce. Like there's always like you gotta. It's always like you're covering up. Like when I had clams or oysters, it was OD drenched with breadcrumbs and butter and fucking lemon juice. Like just to cover the whole taste. And that gets to my main point, which is there's a reason why you're trying to mask the fucking taste because that OD fishy taste. Like don't get me wrong. There's like 15% of people are gonna taste that fishy shit and be like, this is delicious. But everybody else is going to be like, the fuck is this shit needs butter and lemon and just something to cover the taste because it's disgusting.
That's why you, that's why sorry if you're vegan or vegetarian, but like chicken is superior because you could just take a chicken bone and eat that shit and not have to mask it with some ketchup or sauce. Like it's doable because there's some juiciness to it. But like salmon and whatever whatever other fish is just like I don't know. That's not my
Just
cup of tea.
some regular ass grilled chicken, you can have almost any kind of sauce on it. You know what I mean? Like you
Some
go
glazed teriyaki chicken with like and then you sprinkle a little sesame seeds on it.
you can go to the grocery store and go through the salad dressing aisle and pick out any salad dressing you want, and that can go on the chicken.
Banging.
Because it's the go-to, it's the staple. But anyway, back to the donuts. So I did the poll. Here are the four I had to settle on: Boston cream, glazed, jelly, and chocolate. So my question for you is first, what's your order on that? And then I'm gonna ask you what you think the people chose. So I'll read it again.
I voted in it early because I saw it and I texted you what I thought, but then I got to elaborate on it. So first shit is glazed, easy money. Second is what was it, Boston cream?
There's Boston cream, jelly, and chocolate.
Okay,
Or the other two.
So glazed, Boston cream, chocolate, and then jelly. So I can give you a breakdown of why those shits.
Yeah. Break it down for me.
So glazed 100% is number one because as I told you before, and as I'll tell everybody out there, without glazed, without the hamburger bun, there's no hamburger. Without a glazed donut, you don't have.
I love the way you say hamburger. Say it again.
Hamburger.
Oh, you said it more normal that time.
Hamburger.
Okay. That was good. I like that.
Without a
Somebody's going to clip
donut,
that shit out. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't even know how I said it.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Somebody's definitely going to clip that shit. Yeah, hamburger. Booger. It's almost like you say booger, like hamburger. It's okay, dude. I don't know how to say rural. I literally cannot say that word properly.
Yeah, I don't know how to say manure.
Menorah?
Manure. Like cow manure.
Oh, cow manure. Yeah, I say that one a little. I can see why that one's a problem. It's not very clear.
Like if you catch me like just off the cuff and and I try to say that shit, like we pass by it on the road, you think I'm saying like
that's me with rural, dog. Rural. Yeah. I don't know how to say it. Cow manure. Yeah, manure. I could do it, but I see why the URE shit is complicated.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be some like French word or some shit. It's got to be something because like a normal human being would just say like there's some cow shit. There's some cow duty on the side of the road. If this is where I want people to comment where the origin of manure comes from. It's got to be like Latin or something like that, or some weird shit. Like some smart ass dude with that like pipe in his mouth definitely said that word.
French shit is like they have the ending where it's like EAUX, and you pronounce it like
yeah. Well, there was the hockey player Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, exactly.
But manure and cologne. Cologne's got to be some Italian shit or something like that.
Yeah, it's spelled COLOGNE, which is obnoxious. By the way, I could give a whole, and you're going to agree with my shit on this, but there should be no silent shit. Like everything should just be spelled phonetically the way it sounds. You know what I mean? Like don't hit me with some silent, like the J is silent. Then fuck the J. Get the J out that bitch.
Like Pfizer, I think is like PFIZ.
Yeah.
Like, why is the P there? Like, just make that shit FIZER.
That shit is FIZER.
It's so true. It's so like, yeah. Let's start a campaign or a hashtag like fucking stop the extra letters or some shit.
If I ever become president, that's one of my first executive orders. Shit has to be spelled the way it sounds. You can't hit me with some fucking obnoxious silent shit. Fuck your silent shit. Why are you making our life difficult, dog?
You're just allowed to use whatever there you want. Like fuck.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. That's
just make one there.
That's it. I don't care if you get it wrong. It's not wrong. Now it's right. You can use whatever there you want to use. And you know what else? Then and then. THEN.
Make one of those shits.
THEN.
That would save so many Twitter arguments and Twitter fights if like there was just, and it would chop out so many, like the Webster's dictionary would only have like 6 pages in this shit because there's probably so many words that are like the same shit. Like how many times does someone spell there and there wrong?
Oh
And then
my
the rest of
god.
the thread is like, here are other words that blah 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 can do blah blah blah. And it's like, just make one word for that
Hey,
shit.
bro, I'm a 32-year-old man. There's not a single time in my life where I've written there or then where I hadn't had to stop and think about that shit.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
make me I've wasted hours of my life thinking, like coming across there and being like, is this shit THERE or THEIR? What the fuck? It happens
Yeah.
every time, man.
That for me is like
Oh, oh, I
the
got one more.
pinnacle.
Effect and effect.
Yeah,
E
fuck that one too.
To this day, I avoid that word because I don't know which one to use. So I always use impact instead of effect. It really impacted me instead of it really affected me because I don't know how to spell that shit. I don't know if it's EFF or AFF. And the shit is, I remember looking it up like 5 times and being like, I still don't get it. Like, I'll read the definition and be like, that shit is still too close to each other. It makes no, I don't know which one to use.
Yeah, that one's kind of fucked up too.
Anyway, back to the donuts. We keep getting off the donuts. So you said glazed number one, and is your argument sort of like with the chicken argument, where it's like that's the go-to, so it has to be number one?
Not even that it's the go-to, because I don't necessarily. I would almost argue that a Boston cream, Bavarian cream, whatever you call it, is probably a better donut than the glazed donut.
Oh shit!
But the encompassing
Encompassing.
shit that goes with a glazed donut, that Krispy Kreme has like built their whole brand on one donut. Dunkin' Donuts glazed, like without a glazed
Good fucking
donut,
point, bro, about Krispy Kreme. Fuck, that's a good point.
without glazed donuts, you don't have a jelly donut. That's like, it's the origin of donuts is a glazed donut. So
Hold
like,
up, dog. You just made such a good point that you changed my shit for me. That's how good that point was. Because you're right. I've had Krispy Kremes a few times in my life. And the Krispy Kremes are so fucking good, I don't even consider the non-glazed ones. I'm like, just give me that shit. Just give me the standard go-to glazed Krispy Kreme.
warm ass, like fresh off the line
Like,
shit.
I get slightly offended at the fact that they even make other ones. Like, they'll make the chocolate one, and I'm just looking at it like, that's like, nobody should eat that.
See,
Everybody
I didn't
should
even know
eat
they
the
made other
glazed shit.
donuts, because I thought they just like
That's
they
what
had
I'm
that
saying.
the glazed shit unlocked.
I was offended that they had other shit. I was like, why are you making other shit and complicating it? Just make the glazed shit because it's the best fucking donut ever.
Here's how good a glazed donut is. When I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I get some other shit, like I'm not in the mood for a glazed donut. I'll get plain bagel with butter and cream cheese on it, or they have these little like stuffed bagel bites, and those shits are whack as fuck. So if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, don't ever order that shit. It's so garbage. I'll always make sure to get a glazed donut with it, because I know if they fuck up anything else in the bag, the glazed donut is always going to have my back, whether it's been there for 2 days, whether it's like old and stale, whether it's fresh out the fucking thing, whether there's too much glaze on it. That shit is still going to smack no matter what else is in my bag. Like that's your safety net. And if you
And that's
have
the
a safety
worst.
net like that, you got to
And Dunk
appreciate some shit like that.
That's true. And Dunkin's is the worst too, in terms of like of all the glazed donuts I've had, their shit is like on the bottom of the list in terms of the glazed ones. Like the
For real?
crispy, yes, the Krispy Kreme ones just they're not even. It's not even the same species as the fucking
Yeah, yeah, they don't play.
Dunkin' one. It's not. It's like it's insane. It's just out of this world. But anyway, your argument was so good, it just moved me where I have to now say my number one is glazed. I have
What's
to
up?
say it because you're so right. Like that, the Krispy Kreme shit is so good. I'm offended they even make non-glazed ones. But outside of that, I totally deviate from you after that because I love jelly donuts, man. I fucking love them.
That's one I like strongly disagree with you on, because
I love jelly donuts, bro.
jelly to me
Good. People sleep on this shit.
is a condiment that is just ass cheeks. Like it's almost like they made a peanut butter sandwich and then someone had some extra jelly or some shit and was like, put that shit in there, and it became a staple. Like peanut butter sandwiches is a standalone sandwich. Jelly is not there's no like peanut butter sandwich is it's a standalone. It could be its own shit. peanut butter and
But
banana.
it is sort of whack. Like, you want some other shit on it.
I used to get down with peanut butter sandwiches hard because I
Nah,
didn't like jelly that much.
your anti-jelly bias must come to an end.
I've never seen anybody hold down like a jelly sandwich. I didn't think that was a thing.
This is some anti-jelly bigotry that I'm hearing in this bitch.
But have you ever seen anybody roll through?
No,
Like,
but I have seen people have toast and jelly. Like, some jelly on their toast is common, but it's not. They don't have it as a sandwich. You don't put two pieces of bread and jelly in between. You toast something and you put some butter on it, and then you put some jelly on it.
yeah, I mean,
And
if you go to any diner, like it's a staple that they have that shit on, like next to the sugar and all that stuff.
so
I can maybe fuck with strawberry, which
hell
you
yeah.
could sway me on, but grape, you're saying grape jelly, right?
No, I just typed jelly. I didn't put strawberry or grape. And in my experience, it varies. Like, sometimes you get strawberry ones, sometimes you get jelly ones, or grape ones.
But if you order a jelly donut at Dunkin' Donuts, that shit is most likely going to be some like grape flavored jelly.
I don't know I haven't had a jelly donut from Dunkin's in a long time, but like the ones I had from the store today, it was strawberry jelly.
See, you could sway me on that shit because a strawberry jelly might be a little banging.
It's super banging. But the problem though with the ones I had today, it had the strawberry jelly, but the thing that I didn't like as much is it was the powdered sugar and not the sugar.
Powdered sugar will fuck you up because if you've got a little bit, like you got a little bit of a beard going right now,
Yeah.
that shit gets in there, you get on air, it looks like you're doing cocaine or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
or sucking somebody's dick or some shit, sucking Louis Anderson off before the show.
And then also your fingers like sort of stick into the donut, and then it's just you have like that powdered shit on your fingers.
But the sugar on the donut is just out of this fucking world delicious. It's just so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Like, can we just say donuts are like, even though everybody rates donuts highly, they're still somehow underrated?
Oh, yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, like, even though everybody loves donuts, secretly everybody knows I don't love these enough. Like, I need to love these more. Like, I need to appreciate these shits more.
There's no better item to bring into like an event or like a parent teacher conference, or it's just such a universal language item that you can just be like, oh, I brought over some donuts, and like nobody would get mad at that.
Nobody would get mad at that. And you could have a donut for breakfast, or you could have a donut for dessert.
But I'm going to hit you with an even better argument right now. If you come through a party with, a dozen donuts or some shit like that, no one's going to be mad at that. But people will get upset if they open that box and it's 12 jelly donuts as opposed to you coming in with 12 glazed shits.
No, 100% correct. Yeah, no, like, my argument is not I love jelly and everybody loves jelly. My argument is I love jelly and a lot of other people don't love jelly, and y'all motherfuckers are tripping. That's my argument. But the numbers even back up what I'm saying. Like, so you're right. Glaze was number 1 in the poll, 41.6%.
Good job.
Number 2, you're going to agree with this, Boston cream.
Nice.
Number 3, you're going to agree with this, chocolate.
Let's go. That's a perfect poll.
Yeah, this is one that you're 100%. See, on this one, I'm not. Usually I'm a man of the people. On this one, you're 100% the man of the people, and I'm the elitist. Because I go glaze number 1. Okay, I agree with the people. Then I go jelly, and that was dead last in the shit at 12.2%. Then I go chocolate. Then I go Boston cream. So in my world, dead last is the one that was number 2 in the poll, which got 27%, which is solid. That shit got solid 27%.
There's too many. I'm surprised people were honest about chocolate, because I'm gonna say something that's pretty controversial, but kind of fuck chocolate.
Oh no, you did.
Kind of fuck chocolate.
No, you did not fuck chocolate. No,
kind of fuck chocolate.
I don't agree with that. With that. Make your argument though. I'm interested in what you're gonna say.
Because chocolate flavored shit is kind of slayed. Like it's kind of overrated a little bit, because
I'll give you that it's overrated, but I'm not giving you that it's whack and fuck chocolate. But I will give you overrated because people love chocolate even more than they love donuts. And donuts are actually a lot better than just chocolate. You see what I'm saying?
We're evolving as a candy community, that there's so much better shit out there than chocolate. Like chocolate's becoming obsolete. Like that shit is
Nah, you
become
can't say
obsolete. It's like
obsolete.
Bill Cosby of comedy. People
Nah,
just say they like chocolate because vanilla and chocolate. Like it's you gotta like chocolate. Chocolate. You're a kid. Do you want chocolate?
Cosby.
But as you get older, you start to understand that there's some gummy watermelons. There's sour, like there's Sour Patch Kids. There's Swedish Fish. Like, don't get me
You're
wrong.
just
There's some
going all
banging.
gum shit.
No, there's some like peanut chews are banging, but like
That shit is chocolatey too, though.
no, I know what I'm saying, but it's like subtly. It's like it's not as chocolate as chocolate. Like there's still some chocolate candies that are good, but I think people are just stuck on this. I gotta like chocolate because of vanilla and chocolate, and because there's a chocolate emoji, and chocolate is just such a staple in our ingrained in us. But I think we need to sort of really put chocolate in its place. That it's not the OG that what it used to be back in like the 20s and shit like that. Chocolate needs to sort of
Listen,
recognize its place and not overstep its boundaries and be like, oh, I'm gonna just make a chocolate donut.
my
Like,
my, my,
fuck out.
my biggest concession that you're gonna get out of me is that I agree it's overrated, but overrated is like people put chocolate on the pedestal of like this is the best shit of all time. Like it's right there in the category of like crack. You know what I'm saying? Like people view it as like that crystal meth. Like this shit'll ruin your life. It's so fucking delicious, right? So people do overrate it. But hell no, I'm not saying fuck chocolate because once you throw out chocolate and you say that's it's obsolete or like we're evolving out of it, dog, you're throwing away. You're throwing away Snickers, Milky Ways,
Kind of whack.
Reese's,
Kind of whack.
Three Musketeers,
Whack as fuck.
Twix, every banging ass candy. Like and the fact of the matter is, it's easy to forget that chocolate is the one of the main ingredients in all those bitches. But that shit is the main ingredient. Imagine trying to replace the chocolate in any of those candy bars with some other shit. It just would be like they sell like the vanilla Reese's, and it's like nobody buys that shit because you need the chocolate with the peanut butter.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
But people are swaying. Obviously, Hershey's chocolate is like Hershey's chocolate. They got the Hershey's chocolate factory, and that shit is Hershey's chocolate. But the Hershey's cookies and cream bar,
That shit is better than the chocolate shit. Yeah.
better than the chocolate shit, and it's coming from a vanilla-based shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying though is that I agree with you that chocolate is overrated, and I'll even give you this: chocolate on its own is OD overrated. To just the Hershey's chocolate bar, get the fuck out of here. Like you at least got to hit me with some Crunch Bar shit where you got some other little shit with it. you know what I'm saying? Like you got to hit me with like
some shit to change it up. Yeah,
it's got to be like chocolate and the crunchy shit, or like chocolate and caramel, or chocolate and like nougat. Like you can't like it's got to be some. You can't just hit me with the chocolate. So I agree with you on that, but man, I can't say fuck chocolate. Chocolate.
I think we're gonna evolve and get there because think about this. And I was thinking about this as I was saying fuck chocolate, but think about the peppermint back in like 1950s.
That shit is buns.
We look at that shit now as like, you offer me a peppermint? Like, what are you, fucking Betty White? Like, think about that shit in 1950. If someone offered you a peppermint in 1950, that was like they hit you with a fucking Airhead Extreme nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying, yeah.
So the way they looked at a peppermint back in 1950 was like they just hit you with the most banging candy ever. And if you were to say, no, thank you, that candy's disgusting as fuck, they'd be like, are you a human being? You don't like candy? Whereas now, if you ask somebody if they want a peppermint, they toss that shit away. The last shit that's on the counter at a diner. That shit'll be chocolate in fucking 20 years.
No, I like your argument and I see the basis of your argument, but I still think you're overreaching because chocolate is not. Because and here's the other thing, Corin. I know people who like it. Chocolate is their shit in the same way that like me and you would fuck with some fried shit, would fuck with like some McDonald's or some like a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like there are people who look at chocolate that same way that I look at a banging ass fried chicken sandwich with fries. So On that
I think it's
alone,
just the accessibility of chocolate. But I'm not saying chocolate should be obsolete. But chocolate needs to sort of check itself. And
I
like,
agree. Yeah, again, I agree it's overrated and it needs to check itself. But man, you came out the gates ODing saying fuck chocolate.
fuck chocolate. That's how I'm gonna stand by that shit. Fuck chocolate. Like,
But you also got to acknowledge, and I'm with you on this, but we have to acknowledge the reality of the popularity of our position. We are unique in how much we prefer the gummy sour shit. Like,
that's a
most
good point too.
people are not on our vibe with that. Like, me and you are unique in how much we fuck with the gummy shit. Like, for me, it's not even a question. If you offer me the sour punch straws versus almost any other candy, I'm taking the sour punch shit like that. But there's
100.
some people who literally are just like, I don't even like the sour punch straws.
I think it also depends on like age demographic too, because my dad would house chocolate. Like he would just house a whole
And
bunch
he
of
would
chocolate shit.
OD on some peppermints.
Probably OD on peppermints. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, fuck chocolate, but there's also a little disclaimer that it's like I kind of still fuck with you a little bit. But overall, the overarching umbrella is fuck chocolate. Like that's what the rainbow would say is fuck chocolate.
Dog, you made a good point about the cookies and cream bar, though. That was a good ass point. Because yeah, if you offer me the cookies and cream bar or a regular Hershey's bar, that's not even a question.
Don't get me wrong. There's obviously elements and situations that arise where like I'm shoveling my driveway. It's cold as fuck. You know, I'm like thirsty,
hot chocolate.
and you just pop on some like banging hot chocolate and throw some whipped cream on that shit, and it's
Yeah,
like
marshmallows in it or something. Yeah.
and then like the smoke comes off it, and it's like chocolatey, like a good
Yeah.
chocolatey, not some
Yep.
over chocolatey shit.
Yep.
And you just sip it, and it just warms your body. Chocolate's doing its job. That's it checking itself and understanding this is where I need to play a part in your fucking life. Not when you go to the store and everything on the counter is Snickers, Milky Way. Like Milky Way needs to check itself and sort of just tap out.
Now on
Because
that, I'm sort of gonna fuck you up. I fuck with Milky Way hard, dog. Like, don't even here's how hard I fuck with Milky Way. Don't even try to tell me that Snickers is better, because Snickers is not better. It's
kinda
everything.
bugging.
It's
It's
everything
fucking
that's in the
Mario
Milky
and
Way.
Luigi. Mario is
No, you're right.
OG
You're right.
Milky Way.
Mario is the fucking Milky Way bar, dog. The
and
problem
everyone
with the
fucks with
Snickers,
Mario.
the problem is the Snickers shit. Like, it's like, let's have all the good shit that's in the Milky Way plus add one ingredient, which is sort of whack. Like, the nuts are whack. Like, they're not, like, I don't need nuts in the shit. I don't need nuts in my candy bar.
And Snickers does it correctly where it's like we're not going to overpower you with nuts, but it's going to be
But you go
subtle.
Milky Way, I don't even need fucking nuts, dog.
But there's
I could go
there's no
nutless.
crunch.
Like,
I'm
I don't
down
need
on, I'm
nuts.
down on Milky Way. Like when I
I
get
fuck with
Milky
Milky
Ways at
Way.
Halloween, I'm tight. When
I'll
I
take
see it
all
on the
those
counter,
fucking
it's
Milky
tight.
Ways, dog. I fuck with Milky Ways. And the other thing is, this one people definitely disagree with me, but I don't give a fuck. I fuck with Three Musketeers hard, dog. I
You're
fuck
bugging.
with.
I don't even know what's in
I
that shit, but I
fuck-
see that silver ass shit, and I'm
It's
like,
just the nougat. It's just the fucking chocolate and the nougat. I fuck with Three Musketeers on another level.
bugging.
I'm probably Three Musketeers #1 fan in this bitch.
I don't even think. Do they even sell a full size Three Musketeers bar, or is it just the mini shits that come at Halloween? Like, can you only get it at
They
Halloween?
do sell the big ones, but they're not common because a lot of people don't fuck with it.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know that shit is ass cheeks.
Nah. On some real shit, that's like, it's almost like what's the other one that I like? Like, it's like, is it a payday or? Oh, 100 grand. I fuck
100
with
grand
that
I could fuck with because there's
I
caramel in there.
that shit hard. Like, if I had to make a list of my top shits, it would throw some people off because it's a little bit weird. Like, yeah, 100 grand is one of my top shits.
Yeah.
I also think Twix are one of the best, and they don't get their due. Like, Twix are not.
Twix gotta kind of get their due because they even have an ice cream bar for Twix, which shows it a little bit of respect.
No. But here's the problem: the way people talk about Snickers is how they need to talk about Twix. Like, Twix is the shit that's like, society should be like crying with joy over how good Twix is. Like, don't hit me with this Snickers bullshit. It's like my least favorite of all the fucking candy bars, and everybody's like, Snickers is the best. Fuck your Snickers. Give me 100 grand. Give me a Three Musketeers. Give me a Milky Way. Give me a Twix. Give me a fucking Reese's. Reese's is honestly probably #1, I have to say. Reese's is like, you can't beat that shit.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go against you. I never really fuck with Reese's, but like I will eat a Reese's.
Never fuck with Reese's?
I
Yo,
will
you're
eat
getting
them.
roast, son, in the comments. They could come after me for my Three Musketeer shit, but they're gonna fuck you up on the Reese's one.
I will give Reese its proper like due. Like they changed the game. They've got a right place in the candy spectrum, but they're like there's wrong ways to eat a Reese's. Like you just don't, and unless you eat that shit on Halloween, or it's the gold mini shits. Like those shits sort of are banging. Because the big cup, you bite into the middle and get all the juices, and then your second bite, you're left with just the outer rim, and it's sort of ass cheeks. So there is a wrong way to eat a Reese's. Like,
I fuck with your point that the middle is the best, but
and
I
then
still
you're
fuck
left with
the
just that
sides.
outer rim, which is just no more peanut butter shit in it.
Yeah, but I like the chocolate in the Reese's. This gets back to our core disagreement on chocolate too. Is that like the chocolate in the Reese's is like some A+ quality chocolate, where even if I don't get that much peanut butter, I'm still fucking with the taste hard.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean,
It's like
no,
if
they
you have
did
a
a good
slice of
job on the
pizza.
Reese's.
It's like if you have a slice of pizza and there's like a little, the crust isn't that big. It's like a little piece of the crust,
Yeah, I hate that
and
shit.
it's like no, but it's like good crust, and so on the bite you still get a little bit of pizza with the crust. That's how I feel like with the edge of a Reese's. It's
That's
like
a
I'm still getting some peanut butter, so it's banging. But even with just the chocolate, it's banging too.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's all fair. But still, fuck Reese's. I'm gonna say one candy. I've tweeted about it before. That expensive ass shit, the chocolate that comes in that gold ass wrappery shit with the brown shit.
Ferraro Rocher.
Fuck,
Ferrero.
fuck that candy because
Yeah, it's overrated for sure.
way overrated. And like that shit is just mad expensive, and it only comes in like a 2-pack, and it's just unnecessary. And there's just like one big nut in the middle, which is just so unnecessary. Like
We
spread
love
that,
one big nut, folks. We love ourselves one
chop
big
that shit
nut.
up and put it all dispersed throughout that chocolate, and you'll be better.
It's sort of obnoxious that it's branded itself as like the expensive shit, and it's like you're just not as good as you think you are.
Yes. Fuck that candy.
Yeah, like I think the most underrated is 100 grand probably. 100 grand is.
I can fuck with 100 grand, but overall, fuck chocolate.
I don't even think people listening, like I think most of them don't even know 100 grand. That's what I think.
People stop listening.
Nah, people. It's been a long time since we done a Kyle and Corin, and people are fiending for this shit a little bit. You know.
We didn't even intro. My bad. That was my bad. What did we even start talking about right off the bat?
Oh, I don't even know, but this is how it always works. We don't need a fucking intro. This is Kyle and Corin. This is this is how we roll, dog. This is what we do.
It's crazy that there's so much content out there and so much different fucking podcasts and shit that people listen to and so many shows to watch and all that shit. But at the end of the day, people are always searching for some new shit to like fucking find.
That's a good point.
So weird because it's like every single person and their mother has a podcast or some shit.
It is a little too much now. Everybody needs to chill.
Way too much. But like people will always be searching for some new shit or like trying to find a new Netflix show or trying to find some new shit. But everybody watches the same. Everybody just ends up watching the same shit. So in a roundabout way, thank you for anybody who's listened.
It's been a while, man. I'm glad that we're back on air. And people got blessed today. They got a new Secular Talking Smack live stream that I did, and now they're getting a new Kyle and Corin. So shout out to us.
Yeah, for real.
All
I think
right,
we're
guys.
just happy fucking Trump's out. But are you going to even do a report card on Trump, or is it just
No,
like
I
you
am.
just give an F and keep it moving?
I am going to do a report card, but as I was saying earlier, like that shit is not easy because it requires a lot of like thinking and research. Like even for me, I have a pretty good base of knowledge when it comes to what these presidents do. And even for me, it's like overwhelming where I need to try to not miss anything, you know? And he's done so much that like I'm guaranteed to miss a bunch of shit, you know? So like what I said is, yes, I'll do a report card segment, but it's not coming out like for a minute. Like it's going to be a while before I could actually get it all taken care of, you know?
Not for nothing. Prior to COVID, like, was the stock market okay and shit like that? Because like, and I know gas prices, people say it doesn't depend on the president, but like those shits were always low. Like,
well, so to answer your question is, yes, the numbers on the stock market were good, but the stock market is really more of a representation of how corporations are doing and how the richest in the country are doing. So like, yeah, the stock market was good, but that's not a good indicator of how like the economy more broadly is doing, you know?
That's a good point.
Like
Yeah.
80% of people were living paycheck to paycheck. So it doesn't really matter that the numbers in the stock market were really high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. I'll say it again. All the people that still support Trump are all those fucking cockroach ass motherfuckers that were at the Congress shit.
Are you gonna watch any of the thing tomorrow or no?
Fuck no. I turned on the TV tonight and there was a COVID memorial service for people who passed away or some shit. And it was like,
Motherfuckers are still dying and they're gonna be dying for a hot minute.
well, yeah, that, which is sad, but like, respectfully, if I had lost someone, the last thing I'd want to do was turn on ABC and see fucking like Toby Keith singing.
That's a good point. But
because
also, I don't even get the fact, like, why would you do that when there are people still dying like crazy? Like, aren't you supposed to, in theory, wait until it's over before you do some shit like that?
I wrote it down. It was COVID Memorial to Lost Lives. That's what it was called. Like, and it was some lady singing some song shit, like some celebrity lady. One, if I'm a celebrity, I'm not even going to agree to do that shit because it's like on some, We Are the World shit that.
Yeah, that's so true.
Fucking dumbass videos. Two, what the fuck type of title is COVID Memorial to Lost Lives? And to your point, it's like, the shit's not over.
It's not even close to over, and they're doing this.
I think you've tweeted about like putting Fauci on the cover of shit, and it's like the only man that can stop COVID, and it's like
this shit is still going on right now. And why are you taking time out to do a fucking photo shoot when you're supposed to be like figuring out like the crisis and responding to it, and you're fucking taking time to go be on a cover of Vogue or some shit or Time magazine? Like, fuck out of here.
The funniest shit I see you post is like Kamala Harris, like you didn't post this, but like an example is like she'll be on Nickelodeon talking with SpongeBob. It's like, why are you spending time on this shit? Like, don't you have other shit to do?
Dog, they're all doing it too. Like, all of them are going on the covers of magazines and shit. And it's like, I would say tell a magazine to fuck off because my time is not worth that bullshit. So you're in a position with this much power and authority and you're not telling them to fuck off because they really like this is why they got into politics, bro. Like they all got into politics to just everybody to tell them how great they are. You know?
Yeah. Justin Jackson told me that shit. It was just like it's sad when like the celebrity of it takes over, like and they lose that authenticity of why they really are there, and they let that celebrity fucking really take over them and that whole persona and shit like that. And it's like, nah, that's not why. Like you're not Justin Bieber or some shit like that.
That's exactly right. And they should keep that in mind and actually give a shit about helping people. But they never did, I don't think. Or maybe they started and they did for like a year. But then after Washington gets a hold of you, it beats you down and it changes you,
Like, I don't need to see Joe Biden on the floor with his dog. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I know.
Stop trying to humanize him, Because we know, like, it's annoying because we know how much the media loves corporate Democrats, Like, yes, Fox News loves Republicans, but the rest of the media loves corporate Democrats. Like, they hate actual, like, left Democrats like Bernie, but they love fucking corporate Democrats. And so it's all the time. It's nothing but a big, sloppy, wet blowjob to these people,
When I saw it was the first week of the playoffs. Wolf Blitzer, like, posted a picture of himself with a Bills hat on, and it was like, go Bills. And I was like, if you weren't on CNN and propped up as like this fucking political guy, you would just be some random ass dude with a Buffalo Bills hat on your treadmill saying go Bills. Like nobody gives a fuck about you or cares that you like the Bills. Like
nobody.
Go the fuck away. Just do what you do on TV, being a fucking like white bearded fucking bozo.
Robot.
Yeah, like you don't deserve fucking 20,000 likes with your Bills hat on because no one really fucking likes you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's genuinely amazing that Wolf Blitzer has been on TV for as long as he's been on TV, and he doesn't have like a dedicated following of people who love him. It's just like he just exists as a robot and is really, he's really bland like 95% of the time. And like any human being who's being a normal human being on TV for that long is going to gain like a pretty loyal, dedicated following just for being themselves and being somewhat interesting. But he's so uninteresting that he's been on TV since like 1947 and people are still like, I don't give a fuck about this dude. It's almost impressive how non-charismatic he is. You know what I mean? Like it's impressive. It's like they actively pick somebody who's like the opposite of famous, even though he's force-fed to everybody every day.
That's what I'm saying. You're force-fed it, and you can't get away from it one way or the other. Like, they're going to be there. So, like, Stephen A. Smith thinking, like, he's the shit because he got his own TV show. It's like, no, that's ESPN just propping you up and we having, like, nothing else to watch on TV.
Although I am entertained by Stephen A. I'm not going to lie.
Stephen A., man.
I disagree with him a lot, but I'm always laughing when he talks. He's always interesting in me with how he delivers his shit. He's so, like, memeable.
Yeah, no, that's true. But, like, yeah, they find like charismatic people except for Wolf Blitzer. Like whoever was that casting director is probably dead or some shit now. But that goes to my point about Eminem. I think he's fucking whack because he was just propped up and fucking we were force-fed him.
I would love to argue with you on that because I don't agree. I'm not the biggest Eminem stan on the planet. Like, I have critiques. I don't think he's the GOAT, but I can acknowledge he's in the GOAT conversation, and I don't think he's bad. And even low-key, even more of his new shit, I fuck with even harder.
Oh, like, really? I thought you were going to say the opposite.
No, there's some shit where he sort of was just like, fuck you, I'm going to do the music I want to do, and it's really good, actually. And actually, no, I'm lying, because here's my take on Eminem. I said I wasn't going to do this, but now we're talking about it. So, I fuck with, like, his first batch of shit that like made him famous, like Slim Shady, hi, my name is, like that, all that. So like his first like 3 or 4 big songs, I fuck with those hard. And then there was this big ass gap in the middle where I didn't give a fuck about anything he released, and I thought he was overrated. But now I also fuck with his new shit that he released. Like that shit, him versus MGK was dope, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the new shit, like GNAT or some shit it was called.
Yeah, I remember when it came out.
That song was dope, and then there's one other that I heard where like he raps super fucking fast, but he freaks it the whole time. Oh, and the one with the guy who died. What was the name of that guy who passed away? There's one song that he did with that dude, one of these like young rappers
I don't
passed
know.
away.
He's new fucking 21 Savage?
What?
21
no,
Savage?
I don't think 21 Savage.
No, I don't even think he's dead.
But that
like
shit is fucking fire. Hold on, I gotta tell everybody the name of this shit. Like, I gotta figure out what it's called.
Because I gotta listen to it too, because I gotta give him, I guess, a better shot. But outside of like My Name Is, I think he's whack. And I'll go to the grave with that one.
Godzilla, dog. It's called.
I think I listened to that shit.
Godzilla with Juice WRLD is the name of the guy who died.
Juice WRLD, yeah.
That shit is fucking crazy.
I'll give it a shot. But Renegade is the only shit I really fucked with just because the beat is so hot on there. But his flow and like...
Listen to you might like GNAT too. It's got like... It's pretty good. The thing about...
GNAT is one of those words that we were talking about. Like, just make it fucking nat. Unless it's like G-Unit.
Yeah, maybe it is called Nat. I don't know how he pronounces it, but I feel like it's GNAT.
But it fucked you up because there's a G there.
Yeah, that's why I always call it a GNAT. But maybe he meant to name it Nat. But anyway, that shit is good too. See, the thing with Eminem is he's more of a lyricist, so like he's got layers and layers of meaning in his fucking lines. And me and you are not the biggest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me and you are more. We're more typical in that when we listen to music, it's just like
slap that ass, shake that ass.
No, it's about the beat, and it's about does it sound dope?
Yeah.
So it's more about the like that initial visceral, like does it capture me or not in terms of how it makes me feel. But people who listen to Eminem shit, it's more like they're listening for the lyrics to see the artistry of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good argument.
Anyway, everybody check out Godzilla. Everybody check out GNAT/Nat.
And Biden's inauguration tomorrow because Bootylicious Man will be there. That video was hilarious. Oh
yeah, what's his face? Oh, shout out to Mark.
Do you know him?
No, I don't. But he's famous through new media.
Yeah.
Mark
Rebillet.
Rebillet. I don't know how to say it.
You said like some Jewish ass last name.
That's some French shit. Rebillet. He's fucking good, bro. He's good. He creates shit from scratch and he freaks it every time somehow.
Oh, he does other videos outside of like that big booty video?
Dog, that shit that I showed you that you were
Yeah.
laughing at that I tweeted, he made that from scratch, bro.
Oh, for real?
He was freestyling when he made that shit. He started with nothing, worked up the beat, worked up the lyrics, the whole shit.
The lyrics weren't like anything crazy.
Lyrics were on point. Work that ass for daddy. That shit was good. Man.
Like he was like on some crazy like lyricist.
The
like
whole shit is dope. The whole shit is dope.
Like, I'm gonna spread your cheeks. It's not like on some next level. Like he put pen to paper and was like,
bro,
okay, the next bar here is gonna be
pulpy asshole. What did he say? I want the Pope.
Is Biden's inauguration going to be like 20 hours tomorrow, or are they just going to try and keep it moving?
It's a whole day shit, but who knows what it's going to be like because there's crazy Trump people who probably want to do violence and the whole fucking DC is locked down and shit. You know? Like, they're literally
I don't think
locked
anyone's
down.
going to be able to, like, get in there. Like, it'll be...
Ain't nobody going to the shit except, like, the richest fuckers in the country.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll just be some boring-ass news fest shit that'll fucking interrupt Ellen and every other show that I fucking watch.
Damn, you're still watching Ellen?
Nah, sometimes.
Fuck, man. Fuck her so hard. I hate her.
She did some new shit now where she, like, slicks her hair back on some, like, weird, like, John Travolta shit. And it's like, I don't know if it was for Halloween, if it was a Halloween episode, but she needs to chill out.
Damn. All right, on that note, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We've been talking for a minute. Love y'all. Corin, tell the people you love them. And
peace. Love you guys.
And you missed them since we haven't talked to them.
4 comments this week, all about what did I allow in comment section?
Some French shit, something about how do you manure.
Oh yeah, cologne and manure. That's the only shit I want to see in the comment section.
Yeah.
Everything else, fucking save your time with the droids, save your time with aliens, and fuck
Corin,
off.
you're somehow a man of the people who like openly is like fuck the people. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
all right, guys, we love you. Peace.